Hello everyone, my name is Samiya and I'm a postdoctoral research fellow at the University of Wolverhampton. The topic of my presentation today is robotic process automation, or RPA as it is popularly called. Now to start with, here are a few questions for you. Can you think of any menial office task that you repeatedly or periodically perform, which consumes a lot of your time and just requires you to do the same set of steps over and over again without any real thinking required? If this is the case, then robotic process automation can be extremely helpful for you and your business. RPA has been one of the most popular technological interventions that has transformed business workflows across industries and sectors. You can actually gauge the popularity of this tech intervention by the fact that the RPA market is expected to grow to $11 billion by 2027. Another interesting statistic is that around 25% of staff time is spent in carrying out repetitive computer-based tasks. This does not just reduce productivity, but it also compels the staff to shift their focus from productive and creative tasks to something which does not even need an expert. This directly and indirectly affects business outcomes and revenue. Now, before we go any further, I believe it is important to know what RPA stands for and signifies. So, robotic process automation is made up of three words: robotic, which means something that mimics human actions; process, which signifies a set of tasks that need to be sequentially performed; and automation, which means not requiring human intervention. So cumulatively, RPA allows you to develop software bots, not the conventional hardware robots that most people immediately go back to when they hear the word robot. So these software bots can perform a sequence of ordered tasks in the same manner as a human without the need for human intervention. Typically, these tasks include clerical, repetitive, labor-intensive tasks such as data entry or even email monitoring. So what is the benefit of using RPA? Why should you replace humans with software bots? Logically, the use of bots will reduce the time taken to complete a task. Plus, robots don't get tired or bored, and so they do not make the mistakes that humans tend to make because of mental boredom when they're asked to repeat a task over and over. So with RPA, the outcome will be error-free and generated in a much lesser time. In other words, RPA directly relates to improved productivity. In fact, according to a statistic, you can achieve as much as 65% reduction in human resource employed on menial tasks with the use of RPA, so that your staff members can focus on activities that are valuable for your business. Another statistic that might be worth looking at is that McKinsey estimated RPA to unlock as much as 5 to 7 trillion pounds in value. Lastly, RPA offers very high return on investment, and you can expect to get a complete payback in months of starting with it. Now, if we look at the different use cases of RPA, then applications of RPA lie in diverse domains. Some of the popular applications include application processing. So if you get any form of applications such as inquiry forms or order specification forms, then you can automate the process of taking out specific information such as business name, etc., and type this into your customer relationship management system or Excel files that you may be using to manage information about incoming orders. Now, the benefits of using RPA for this purpose go beyond making it time effective and error-free. RPA-based tool eliminates the need for someone to type in details into every software or system that you may be using for management, be it ERP or CRM system. So it allows you to maintain data integrity across systems, which can otherwise be extremely difficult to check and maintain. The second class of applications is producing sales quotations. Now, generating quotes on the basis of order information provided by the customer is typically a task that requires putting specific values of variables to existing Excel formulae and then compiling the information to generate a quote document. Since the variables need to be taken from the inquiry form and the Excel formulae are usually predefined, RPA-based bot can read the required information and calculate the required results. Finally, it can also compile the information, so you have the code document ready to be given to the customer without you having to break your own head with finding, calculating, and compiling any of those things. The third class of applications is sales forecasting and projections. Now, forecasting sales and generating projection reports is a task that is repetitively performed by almost every business. This specific use case requires collating data from multiple sources and creating a graphic using the same. So, for example, most companies maintain Excel sheets of sales that are maintained, say, month-wise. Now, if we need to create a quarterly projection or half-yearly projection graph, you need to take data from 3 or 6 files, merge it together, and create a graph for the same. Moreover, you may be required to do it periodically because of any updates that may have happened. This makes it a typical RPA use case. A bot can read 6 files, copy data into a common file, and create a graph using the predefined configuration of labels in data series with much lesser effort and in very little time. Now, another class of application is procurement, supplier onboarding, purchase order tracking, and parcel tracking. Procurement, materials planning, and tracking of purchases and orders typically requires entering the same information over and over. For example, tracking parcels is one job that requires you to access the delivery partner's tracking page, enter the variable number, and read the update. Now, if this needs to be done for hundreds of orders every day, it can be extremely labor intensive. Thus, RPA robot can be programmed to copy the variable number, access the predefined website address, paste the variable number, and copy the latest update. This update can be pasted along with date and timestamp of the tracking information into a separate Excel sheet for further processing or usage. The last class of applications here is data gathering, data migration, data entry, report preparation, and dashboarding. Now, as you've already seen, RPA can work extremely well with Excel files and reading data from PDF to store them into Excel or Word files. Therefore, data entry jobs such as order request received per day can be directly read from the admin panel of the website and pasted into an Excel file. Now, if these files are made every day and if you need to create a weekly report that needs the statistics around this information, you will need to access 7 Excel files. Plus, if you need to do this every week for the weekly meeting, then you'll be doing the same task with 7 new files every week. Instead of this, wouldn't it be better to run a software bot that automatically reads the latest 7 Excel files, creates a new Excel file with custom name, and collates the required information into this file? This file can now directly be accessed, and the weekly report is available without the hassle of playing around with numbers. Besides this, there are many other examples that typically use RPA. Say, for example, you need to print out 200 invites to be sent out to your customers for an event. Now, you can imagine the pain this would be for anyone who's asked to do this job manually. But with RPA, you can have a software bot that will read the list of customers from an Excel file, customize the existing invite by editing name of the customer and their address, and finally give the print command to initiate printing. Another example where RPA automation can come in handy is invoice processing. So if you want to collate week-wise data of sales in an Excel sheet, typically you would have to open every invoice file, copy-paste information such as customer name, payment amount, date of transaction, etc. into the Excel file. This might not seem to be such a misery if you have 5 to 7 invoices. However, what if you have 100 invoices or even 20 invoices? In that case, this is going to be some task for you. RPA can easily do this task for you with 100% accuracy in a much lesser time and without the need for you to exhaust yourself mentally on something that just did not require your expertise. Now, if this has left you wondering about what might be a good RPA software bot for your business process or use case, the one thing that you need to know is that every business is different, and thus the automation needs of the business are also different. The SOLVD team can review your business use case and processes to help identify the most efficient and cost-effective tool for you. We at SOLVD encourage the start small and scale up methodology, so we start with identifying processes that are most impactful on the cost and revenue aspects of your business. Typically, these processes will be high volume, so these are tasks that need to be done a lot of times. There's also a need to keep the error rate low. They may be requiring information from multiple departments or sources and may be requiring irregular labor. The SOLVD team can create the complete roadmap and chalk out the life cycle of the right RPA tool development for your business. Another significant thing that needs to be considered is the fact that tech adoption brings about a gradual yet impactful change in organizations. However, if this is done in an unplanned manner, you can easily lose focus. RPA deployment may result in technical, procedural, or organizational pitfalls, which can be mitigated with the help of our team of experts. Cumulatively, the SOLVD team can provide you a comprehensive consultation on RPA tool development as well as deployment. So if you wish to know how we can help your business or want to discuss your use case with us, you can contact us on the given email address. Thank you for listening. Please feel free to contact us with any queries or concerns.